Nigeria operates a federal system of governments with three tiers closely knitted together to evolve rapid development in urban and rural areas, thereby giving Nigerians a sense of belonging. Opening up the rural areas through government presence has been identified as one of the ways of stemming the tide of rural-urban migration, which puts unnecessary pressure on the available infrastructural facilities at the urban centers. The imports of the median tier of government in making life more meaningful to the people, to what extent has the second tier of government been able to perform its social contracts? These will form the nucleus of this edition of Stepping Up, with Nasarawa State as the focal state. Nasarawa State, apart from its proximity to the Federal Capital Territory, has over 2 million Nigerians to cater for with 29 languages. How is the government coping with the influx of citizens from the nation's capital, as well as meeting the infrastructural needs of the people? These are some of the issues to be addressed by my guest, the governor of Nasarawa State, Umaru Tanko Almakura, who is stepping up on the program this week. My name is Kemi Fakeye. You are welcome. We are reaching you from the office of the governor of Nasarawa State, in person of Alhaji Umaru Tanko Almakura. Your Excellency, you're welcome to Stepping Up.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you. Without wasting time, we want to start the program by asking you, are there advantages inherent in the proximity of Nasarawa State to the Federal Capital Territory?
Advantages, obviously, yes. But all that glitters is not gold. If you put the advantages vis-a-vis the disadvantages of Nasarawa's proximity to the federal capital, one will sometimes be at a loss as to ultimately consider that proximity as advantage or otherwise. In any case, let me say that our proximity to the federal capital is to some extent of great advantage to the state. Reason being, it leverages the state from having some kind of commercial, industrial, and business relations with the federal capital. It has also increased the value of some of our properties and products. It has also given the people of Nasarawa State the opportunity to have an alternative source of making a living. This much is what I can consider to be the ordinary advantages that the state gets. But if you put these advantages side by side with the preponderance of disadvantages that the state is experiencing by our nearness to the federal capital, you will really marvel. One, there's too much population explosion, a lot of spillover of people living from in the federal capital and moving to the Karu axis. This has with it a lot of challenges. One, the explosion over stretches some of our facilities and utilities, like the roads. They get bad so easily because of the too much traffic that ply them. The water supply is near inadequate. And the power source that was meant for maybe about 100,000 or 200,000 people is now being used by close to about 1 million people. So if you see the wasting of these utilities, their overstretching and their total misuse, you find that the people of Nasarawa State are at disadvantage. But the greatest disadvantage we face is the failure of people living in the Greater Karu area who are supposed to be paying tax to Nasarawa State government, but never really do that. The law says wherever you reside is where you pay your payee. If you take census of the people working in the federal capital, you would discover a very substantial percentage live in Karu area. That alone is supposed to fetch the state government tremendous amount of revenue that could be used to replenish some of these overstretched challenges we have by the same people that are now refusing to pay taxes.
So in terms of infrastructural development, how is your administration coping?
Whether people pay tax or they don't pay tax, there is a constitutional responsibility on government to provide certain basic infrastructures to the state, irrespective of whatever we suffer by the residents. Government is trying what it can to provide enough roads to make movements and transactions of people a little less taxing. Government has also discovered that the number of people that are living within the Karu axis are basically traders. So government has increased the building and setting up of markets in various places to give residents opportunity to have what to do to make a living. Besides that, government has also tried to increase its waterworks to expand the scope of supply within that axis. With regard to power supply, we were working in synergy with NIPP to see that the power generation and distribution within that axis is boosted to increase the energy that people will require to do their job. So government is trying what it can to increase and expand the size and scope of the infrastructural facilities that we have. There was no single kilometer of asphalt road since I came, before I came, that was built by the state government. All the asphalt roads you see in the state were trunk arrows by the federal government. And we have townships where network of roads are necessary to ensure flexibility, movement of people and goods, promotion of business and commerce. So we embarked on that, and I'm happy to say that as I talk to you now, we have constructed more than 300 kilometers of roads across the state. We feel air transportation is also another additional infrastructure that should be given to the people of the South State. So we have already embarked on the construction of cargo airport in Lafia, and the job is already about 20% complete in progress. And I'm sure between now and 2018 ending, the state will have a brand new airport where citizens and visitors alike would have the opportunity of accessing the state within the shortest possible time. We have also provided waterworks for Nasarawa town, which is one of the townships in the state that has the greatest problem about water. For all these years, their dilapidated waterworks could only serve not more than 10% of the total population. Government has disbursed about 3 billion on the construction of Nasarawa Waterworks, and it's about 95% completed. We have also tried to build markets. We consider market as another kind of infrastructure, the current international market, and virtually all the towns within the zonal or senatorial zones, especially the headquarters of Akwanga, Kefi, and Lafia, have got multiple number of shops and markets that will give the residents the opportunity to expand the scope of their businesses. We have discovered that in most of our tertiary institutions, there had been inadequacy of hostels, and those that bear the brunt are the female students. We feel really bad. For the man, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them can be in a room and manage, but for the girls, they need certain level of privacy and comfort. For that reason, we decided to build very big hostels, about 10 in number, in various tertiary institutions, to first and foremost consider the female students, then male students. Virtually, in the next few months, these hostels will be commissioned, because we have commissioned that of Akwanga, we are commissioning that of Polytechnic Lafia, that of the university will be commissioned also in the next few weeks. We have also built specialist hospitals as referral centers in each of the senatorial zones of Akwanga, Nasarawa, and Lafia. This is to accommodate some complex medical challenges that go beyond the capacity or competence of general hospitals in various local governments. So for each senatorial zone, there is a specialist hospital that has different kinds of specialties that will support health delivery system.
In the area of education, what is the administration doing?
Education is my baby. Of all the preoccupation of the state government, what we have taken most seriously is that of education, because as far as we are concerned, education is the platform upon which other developments can follow. We have tried to do that by increasing the number of schools, especially public schools. Before our coming into office, a lot of the school facilities were dilapidated, some are in total decay. When we came, we introduced the Ta'al Model School, where we built different kinds of categories of schools in various areas, in rural areas, in semi-rural areas, in townships, and in local government headquarters that are considered to be cities. There is this 2-floor Ta'al Model School, which is the first of its kind in most of the states of the Federation, where you have a well-built block of classroom that is on 2 floors with modern sanitary conveniences, with overhead tank, with solar panels on the roof to give the students the opportunity to read even at night. But beyond that, we have also tried to make education free in all public schools.
Is it from primary to secondary school level or to tertiary institutions?
No, from primary up to secondary school, education in the South State is free, including those in boarding schools. They are being fed, they are being provided for without a dime. But those in the higher institutions are not part of this initiative. In any case, we try to support them by giving them scholarship and bursary that will reduce the challenges they are facing.
The free education, is it only for indigenes of Nasarawa State?
Of course. From primary school up to secondary school level, whoever is in Nasarawa State's public school wherever he comes from, wherever is his state of origin, he, the student attends the school without paying anything. It's free of charge. We have introduced what we call comprehensive special schools for children with disability. Whether you are blind or deaf or crippled or have intellectual disability, you have a school that is catering for your child who has those challenges. We have them in primary schools in 3 zones, and then we have the central comprehensive secondary school in Lafia, which has more than 1,000 students of different categories of disability.
Okay, to now fund all this initiative, how is the administration improving on its revenue base, revenue generation?
Thank you very much. When we came on board in 2011, the amount of revenue the state was collecting was only about 150 million per month. And even at that, when other charges are removed, you find that ultimately the state gets not more than 100 million. But from 2012, we set machinery in motion to expand revenue generation in the state through so many avenues. One, we discovered that the state, being a neighbor to the federal capital, would derive a lot of revenue from property development, from property business. So we quickly put up the Nasarawa Geographic Information System that computerized all land transaction and administration. This has leveraged the state in expanding the scope of revenue generation.
Your Excellency, we apply a short break now. When we come back, we'll continue with our discussion. Via at home, join us again. The program is still stepping up, and the governor of Nasarawa State, in person of Alhaji Tanko Almakura, is still on the seat, talking about the developmental strides in the state. Your Excellency, we earlier talked about the issue of population explosion in the state because of its proximity to the Federal Capital Territory. How is your administration managing the issue of waste?
That is one very disturbing and obstinate problem we had to face since 2011. I can tell you we have more than 1 million people living between Maraba and Masaka in the entire Greater Karu area. So you can imagine, and these are middle class people that live a modern way of living. And you can imagine the kind of waste each household would generate. Since we came, the problem that had always bothered us was the issue of people putting waste even along the road. And we have battled for so many years to find ways and means of managing this waste until we were able to devise a means of creating an independent desk that is leveraged and supported financially and with all kinds of equipment to take on waste disposal as a task force. For about 6 months now, if you ply that road from Maraba up to Masaka, you are not likely to see any kind of waste that will cause any problem to you anymore. We have even gone further to warn residents, especially those in the suburbs, who carry their waste from their backyard, which could have easily been disposed of and serve as manure in their backyard garden, to come and put them in the front. The task force will arrest and prosecute any person who is found to be dumping his or her waste in front of the road. This has helped in the long has helped so much in reducing waste disposal problems along that axis.
By virtue of your position, you are the Chief Security Officer of the state. How are you managing the issue of herdsmen and farmers clash?
The issue of farmers and herdsmen, which had been very debilitating, we have found the way to solve it by getting the traditional rulers, the security operatives, and community leaders to be part and parcel of the reconciliation process. This we have done successfully for the past 1 year. I can say without every confidence that we don't have farmer herdsman crisis now in Nasarawa State. This is because of the this platform we have put in place to ensure that every community that has this kind of problem, no matter how little, the committee in each of those communities would come and immediately sort the matter out before it snowballs into bigger problems. And I think it is working, and you don't change a winning horse. This initiative is what we have sold to virtually all communities, and for 1 year now, Nasarawa State is living peacefully within amongst ourselves by each of the ethnic nationalities, and also including the migrant Fulanis that come to pass through Nasarawa, because there are certain guidelines and rules. If you are not going through your grazing route, you have to go through other routes. You have to seek the permission of the farmers or the community so that they can guide you to a path where some of their farm produce will not be destroyed.
Okay, Your Excellency, can you talk briefly on the outcome of your meeting with Benue State Governor?
It was a very, very, very successful meeting. And what even makes it more difficult is certain political insinuations that people bandied around. Some of them consider this herdsmen coming from Nasarawa only to destroy their farms. Unknown to them that by geographical position, Nasarawa is in the north of Benue, and most of the herdsmen come from the north going south, must have to pass Nasarawa. There's nowhere they can pass. They cannot go under the ground, they cannot go over the air.
Youth empowerment is key to crime control and developmental stride in any society. How far has your administration gone in encouraging youth development and empowerment?
The youth are the leaders of the future, and you must start giving them the right type of education, training, and chaperoning so that the future could be bright. What we are trying to do now is to employ about another 3,000 youths for skill acquisition. We have since acquired or procured equipment from Singapore. We are now in the process of building the skill acquisition centers where these youths will commence studies or professional training.
Governor Tanko Almakura, the governor of Nasarawa State, it's been nice talking to you on Stepping Up once again. Thank you very much for being our guest. If you are at home, we want to thank you for being there to watch this program. Please do send your comments to the different platforms showing on your screen. Join us again when we shall bring you another guest on the program. Bye for now.